When it comes to vaping, there's a lot of misinformation out there. What's concerning is that some of the biggest arguments against vaping are either myths or situations that have been blown out of proportion. Today I'll be breaking down some of those myths. My goal today is to give you the facts, so you can make an informed decision about vaping and see why it's been a helpful tool for millions of people around the world. Now let's start with a big one, exploding vapes. We've all seen videos of vapes exploding here on YouTube or social media, but what you rarely hear about are the more important details. When devices explode, it almost always comes down to user error or misuse. Like any electronic, mishandling a device can be dangerous. Fortunately, when it comes to vaping, basic safety and common sense are all you really need. Firstly, understanding battery safety is key. The batteries that vapes use, such as 18650s, are high output and need to be looked after. Making sure the battery wrap is intact, the insulator is in place, and there's no damage to the cell is important. When batteries are damaged in any of these ways or old, their potential to malfunction increases. Always inspect your batteries and ask for help if you're unsure. It's often that the devices you see exploding are mechanical. These devices don't have an onboard chip that protect you from errors or allow you to adjust power settings. With these devices, an understanding of Ohm's law is required as they're made for rebuildable coils. When using a mechanical device, you need to make sure the build of your coil does not exceed the output capability of your battery. If this happens, your battery can overheat from being stressed and potentially explode. Finally, one of the most avoidable explosions are when a battery is not stored correctly. As a live cell, being in contact with metals can short out your battery, so it's important to keep them away from anything metallic. Putting a battery in your pocket with loose change or keys can be very dangerous. If you want to safely transport your batteries, put them in a case. Before we continue, make sure you like this video and hit that subscribe button for more videos like this. Now on to myth number 2, popcorn lung. The story of popcorn lung is interesting and revolves around a flavoring additive called diacetyl. Originally, diacetyl was used to give popcorn a buttery flavor. Eventually, it started to be used in making e-liquids,
and that's when the world went crazy.
Essentially, continuous inhalation of diacetyl in powdered form led to popcorn lung. Thanks to sensationalism, the fact that diacetyl has been used in e-liquids directly connected it with popcorn lung and led to a mass scare about vaping. There has not been a single case of popcorn lung contracted by vaping. In fact, cigarettes contain an average of 750 times more diacetyl, and no one has contracted popcorn lung from smoking either. In case you're still concerned, nearly all Canadian e-liquid manufacturers have stopped using diacetyl to ensure the products you buy are totally safe. Moving on to myth number 3, there have been claims that vaping is more harmful than smoking, when in reality it's the opposite. Vaping has been proven to be at least 95% less harmful than cigarettes. Many people think that the most harmful part of a cigarette is nicotine. Although it is addictive, it is not the cause of cancer and other major health problems that come from smoking. The main culprits here are tar, carbon monoxide, and the hundreds of other chemicals you find in cigarettes which have no place being in our bodies. With vaping, there is no combustion, so you can't inhale carbon monoxide, and e-liquids have 4 main ingredients: propylene glycol, vegetable glycerin, flavoring, and nicotine. With the first 3 being food grade and safe for consumption, while nicotine is optional and almost always consumed at lower amounts than what a cigarette offers. To add on to this, chemically, nicotine is very similar to caffeine due to its stimulant properties, and its use is cited as a safe tool for quitting smoking by the American Journal of Respiratory and Critical Care Medicine. Myth number 4, secondhand vapor. With secondhand smoke being proven to be dangerous, it's easy to think the same about vapor. In reality, what you exhale is very similar to regular air. When nicotine is in vapor form, it quickly absorbs through your mouth and lungs. In 2018, the Department of Public Health in England, or PHE, reviewed the risks of vaping and were unable to find any harmful components in secondhand vapor. There have also been concerns about PG and VG inhalation, but both of these ingredients are used in everyday products like foods and sweeteners. In the medical field, these are used in nebulizers, which help administer medication in vapor form to people with conditions like asthma and COPD. Either way, it should go without saying that if you're vaping in public, it's important to be courteous to those around you, even if what you're exhaling is harmless. Now let's move on to our last myth: vaping is more addictive than cigarettes. To debunk this myth, we need to understand how vaporizers help with nicotine addiction. When someone starts vaping, they'll begin with an amount of nicotine that feels comparable to how much they smoke. Over time, they'll decrease nicotine intake, often to the lowest amount or no nicotine at all. Essentially, you're weaning yourself off nicotine by using a method that feels similar to smoking. Unlike patches or gum, vaping feels satisfying like smoking while giving you choice over how much nicotine you take in. Working in a vape shop, I've seen many people go down to no nicotine or quit vaping entirely, and it's inspiring to see someone overcome an addiction they've had for years. With so much misinformation out there, it's our job as vapers to spread the truth and continue to help others quit smoking. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.